Hello, Kevin. How are you?
Hey, Shika, how are you?
I'm good, and a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
I like that jacket.
Thank you.
So, very good evening to South Africa, and this is Shikhan Hatta here back again. And with me, I have Kevin T. Robertson. And to those of you who do not know him, Kevin T. Robertson is a top consummate professional speaker, CEO, and co founder of SpeakerFocus.com, internationally recognized as America's leading focus expert. Kevin has delivered over 2,000 customized leadership programs since 1988. KTR teaches Fortune 500 clients across the US, toured overseas in 30 plus countries like North Africa and Italy. Successful companies like the International Association of Venue Managers, McDonald's, Burger King, Verizon, and over 100 companies each year invest in his teachings, booking him again and again. And that's Kevin T. Robertson for you guys. And we're honored to have you on board, Kevin.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Shika. I really appreciate the opportunity.
And the stage is all yours.
Okay, well, here we go. Let's get into the presentation, everyone.
Yes.
Hey, now after that powerful introduction, Shika, you can see my screen, right? Wait a minute. I just want to make sure that I got to hit share. Okay. Here we come. Okay, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Kevin T. Robertson, America's leading focus expert. It's my pleasure to be here with you today to share a wonderful topic. Meeting planners, conference coordinators, service providers in the wedding and meeting planning space. Also, key decision makers, chair or committee members. I have something very, very special for you today. This event is sponsored by Speaker Focus. We create innovative products to help subject matter experts grow their speaking revenue. Please visit www.speakerfocus.com for more information. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be America's leading focus expert. I have spent the better part of 30 plus years studying things like cognitive science, also communication, and things that really open up your mind. Organizing your focus is what I really specialize in. I want you all to remember something today. Meeting planners and conference coordinators are in the top 5 when it comes to stress. And they need focus. They need clarity. They need to be able to see their vision very, very clear and reduce the levels of stress and increase levels of productivity. That's what I want to share with you today. Now, my topic today is called Leadership Strategies that Magnify Success. The only way we are going to be able to lead people, we have to be able to create a strategy. We have to have a game plan. So I've spent the better part of my 35-year career as a speaker, taking the client's high level of success and making it bigger. And that's what I like to do for you today. We have all these specialists and subject matter experts, leading authorities and trusted advisors, service providers, everybody in the wedding and meeting planning space. They really work hard to deliver high value. But as conference coordinators, all of this, planning, it really takes a toll. So a lot of times you got to think and remember that a lot of responsibility comes along with leadership. Leadership is not a right, it's a responsibility. Most people don't have higher levels of success being an effective leader is because they can't handle more responsibility. So I have some simple strategies I want to share with you today that's going to allow you to clarify the vision, organize the objectives, and attack your goals with force. We are going to have more success as we achieve more focus. So what I've done is make this really, really simple for you to understand and develop an acronym to stay focused on your goals and your dreams. So we're going to talk about the F is for foresight, the O is for optical, C is for cataracts, the U is for utopia, and the S is for scope. I'm going to break down the 5 keys to staying focused on magnifying your success as a conference coordinator, meeting and event planner, chair or committee member, key decision maker who is in the wedding planning space. Here we go. Now, the number one thing you have to have is foresight. Foresight is your ability to see into the future, ladies and gentlemen. Your ability to see down the road Be able to have a plan of contingency in place. It's not if you're going to have a breakdown, it's simply when. So what does it take to be able to see down the road and have some vision? You got to be able to see, you got to be able to see the unseen. You got to be able to have some type of vision and take care of things that's simply down the road that are going to be some traps, some pitfalls, some roadblocks, some setbacks, some deficiencies. Whatever it is that we're doing, it doesn't matter what level of service that we're providing. We're all in the business of providing service to other people. And that's what this thing is about. We want to create an extravaganza. We want to create an experience when people come to our events. Now, you got to have some foresight and some vision to be able to do that. Remember, as you are walking down this lonely path in the meeting planning space, I've done over 2,700, delivered over 2,700 paid speaking engagements throughout 30 plus different countries, serviced over 78 different nationalities. I can tell you this. I have dealt with a lot of things down the road that I just simply didn't understand that I was getting myself into. So what I learned to understand as I got older and as I got more mature as an entrepreneur and as a business professional, I learned that looking down the road is always great. You got to be able to have some foresight, but you also got to be able to focus on your short-term, midterm, and long-term strategies. Everyone thinks that the goal is the objectives. And we get that misconstrued sometimes. We get very distracted. We don't know which lane to drive in. You got to know when to stay in your lane. And the objectives are the little action items that gets us closer towards the goals. Always remember that your objectives is all about taking little action items. Important things equal results. When you focus on the urgent, it always equals panic and react. So whenever you have a vision, you got to make sure you see that vision clear. If you don't see it in your mind, don't act on it. As soon as you see it clear, attack your goals. Anything in life you do not meet with greater or equal force, it's going to steamroll right over top of you. So make sure that your foresight, you wake up every day, get your rest because you need it. Remember, you're in the top 5 when it comes to stress. Conference coordinators, meeting planners, people in the wedding space, you're in the top 5 when it comes to stress. So to reduce that level of stress, 1 minute worth of planning saves you 10 minutes worth of doing. Plan ahead. Your schedule needs to be super organized when you're working with all your contractors and your vendors. Make sure you integrate simple time management strategies that will allow you to see your goals very, very clear. Focus on the objectives and the action items. Important equals results. Remember, everything that's on your schedule that's important, you're going to focus on that. Your average meeting planner or conference coordinator has the ability to focus on accomplishing 7 to 10 things throughout the body of one workday. So I suggest you pick the 7 to 10 things that are the nature of a priority, and then get the resources built around you to empower you to move forward and attack your goals with force. Delegation is also a really big factor in being successful as well. So if you want to be able to go in this business and go down the road and have some longevity of your success, you got to make sure that your vision is clear. Your focus is better. You can overcome obstacles in any type of weather. You got to manifest the knowledge and remain clever. Why? Because your vision must stay clear and your focus must stay better. Let's move on to the next acronym in the next letter in the focus acronym, and that's going to be optical. Now, Webster's dictionary define optical as any type of device that aids you in sight. Wow. As I've been through many trials and tribulations in business, I want many of you to understand that anything that's going to help you see your vision better and it's going to give you a better vantage point, you got to be able to take advantage of those resources. Now, the most beautiful word in the English language to me is resources. Resources empower. Resources allow you to move the vision forward. Resources is actually like fuel that you put inside the vehicle of opportunity to get down the road. Now, a lot of times we don't see the vision very clear because we have a lot of distractions. We have a lot of places during our travels that we have the opportunity to stop, but let's talk about the essentials of when you have to stop so you don't get distracted so you can keep moving forward. The essentials would be things like gas. The essentials would be stopping to use the restroom. The essentials would be things like stopping to get something to eat, maybe even a shopping every once in a while. I know what some of you ladies are thinking, right? I love shopping too. So keep this in mind. The things that you really want to focus on are the essentials. What is going to allow me to move my vision down the road, take it step by step by step? What's going to allow me to magnify success in my personal and professional vision? I have 3 keys I want to share with you to optimize your focus. Now, key number 1, I call it KTR's 3 R's to success. R number 1 is research. Scientific case studies show the more research you do, the quicker your recall ability becomes. Now, you got to be able to study and take in new information. Everybody's talking about, oh, I want to feel good. I want to get motivated. Well, the thing that can keep you motivated for the longest amount of time is new information. So therefore, I spend time studying the success habits of the top 3% of the most successful people in the history of business. I've spent the better part of the last 30 years of my life, dedicated my life to studying these success habits. So what we got to do is replace old behaviors with new behaviors. Remember, if you don't see it, don't do it. As soon as you see it very clear, go into attack mode. So the first R is research. You've got to research the target audience that you're trying to reach. You've got to research the vendors and the contractors, the outreach that you're doing. You have to research the type of scheduling system that you need. What kind of software integration do you need? Software and technology is always forever changing in the meeting planning industry. I love being a part of the experience because I get a chance to partner with conference coordinators, meeting and event planners. And to be in that space is really amazing. I can remember many, many years ago when I got married back in 1998, and we had a $50,000 wedding, and we had the little guys walking around with the waiter jackets on, serving the hors d'oeuvres. We had fresh flowers over top of the gazebo. We had valet parking, the horse and carriage. Brought up the bride, and then they walked down a really, really long aisle. The limo dropped her off, and then the horse and carriage brought her up to me. So you're talking about a lot of details and a lot of planning. By the way, we planned the wedding ourselves. So I know what it's like to be a meeting planner. I know what it's like to be an event planner because I've been one myself, done many, many seminars, but I've been on both sides of it. So remember, optical is any type of device to aid you in sight, but you got to do research. What we did was we went around to wedding expo after wedding expo. We went to the vendors and we tried the food. That's why we were able to hire the harp player by going to a company out of Northern Virginia called Better Events. They cater events for the White House. I wanted to go get the best. So I researched what it was going to take in order to work with the best. And I went and tasted the food. I listened to the musicians. I listened to the instrumentation. I went to a tailor. I had a custom made suit for me and my brother, custom made hand shoes. I mean, all the way down to the finite details. I saw it in my head what I wanted, and then I did the research, and then the research empowered me to make better decisions. And that's what you have to do as a conference coordinator. You have to make sharp decisions. You can't be stuck on the fence and be indecisive. Once you make a decision to do something, the only way that's going to happen is you do research. Now, the second button is your recall ability. First R is research. Second R is recall. Now, what is your recall ability all about? Your brain has the ability to process millions and millions of auditory and visual thoughts per second. We have something located at the base of our brainstem. It's called the reticular activating system, or in short, RAS. I suggest you do some research on it. Absolutely mind-blowing and fascinating. Now, here's what happens. Your brainstem, the RAS, it has all the ability to store information. So when you see a new car, you see a new Tesla and it's red. I'll say, oh, I've never seen a Tesla, that model before, in red. All of a sudden, your reticular activating system stores that information, and all of a sudden you start seeing Teslas everywhere. Well, this is what happens when you do a massive amount of research and you study and you know your business like the back of your hand. My question is, do you know your business? Do you know your target buyer? Do you know the vendors and the contractors that you're working with? When you do, because when you hit the recall button and you're asking your brain to go retrieve information very quickly. And the longer it takes for you to bring that information back, the longer it's going to take you to make a decision. So I suggest you do a massive amount of research. So when you hit that recall button, you don't have the deer in the headlights syndrome. You're able to be a quick decision maker. And last but not least, the final R, and I'll move on to the next letter in the acronym for focus. And that is going to be resources. My favorite word in the English language is resources. Do the research. When you hit the recall button, what pops up? Resources. Resources are educational tools, techniques, tips, strategies, pillars, steps. I'm talking a smorgasbord of knowledge that you have in your possession, right at your fingertips, to allow you to move forward and attack your goals with force. Now, the C is for cataracts. In the acronym for focus, I'm breaking it down. The F was for foresight. The O was for optical. The C is for cataracts. Well, as you look at this picture, the dictionary defines cataracts as a gray or opaque area, which causes partial or total blindness. Now, what is causing us to stop us from seeing our vision? What are we having? Miscommunication, block communication, flat out, none at all. In our industry, in the industry of event planning, 82 to 97% of your breakdowns or missed deadlines stem from ineffective communication, or you're distracted by some system that you have not perfected. And eventually a breakdown is not if, it's when, it's imminent. And a lot of times we have distractions. A lot of us, and I need to say this, and this is going to maybe ruffle some feathers, but this is what I'm here for, to empower you to improve, to move forward. A lot of us suffer from possibility blindness. Like we simply don't believe that it's possible for next level success. I'm telling you that you can't see belief. You can't hear it. You can't smell it. You can't taste it. But ladies and gentlemen, you can damn sure feel it. And when you believe in something, I don't care who else believes in it or not. Belief is going to empower you with confidence. When you have a plan, you stick to the plan and stay on the path to success, because the majority of the world that we're in right now, we're in a mental health crisis. During the pandemic, what I've learned and what I teach to people on our platform at speakerfocus.com and what I teach my clients worldwide is fear is nothing but an emotion, and it can come and go. Sometimes fear, it just masquerades itself as courage. We all have fear and courage inside of us. Courage is the ability to recognize the fear, embrace it, deal with it, overcome it, and move forward anyway. Hey, I'm scared out of my mind with the kind of goals that I have in my life, because your goals should scare the living crap out of you. If they don't, you don't have big enough goals. But you got to watch out for the traps and the pitfalls. Ego and emotions really get in our way, and it distracts us. Other people's opinion distract you as well. So never let another person's opinion about you define your level of self-esteem. You need confidence in your self-esteem to be able to move forward. Remember, all these distractions, these are just obstacles that we have every single day. It's just a natural progression of project management. And as we're going through a project and we're learning what to do or what not to do and building relationships, will allow you to tap into resources that when you do get distracted, boom, you can hit that recall button, and all the resources that you have around you are organized. And what is that going to do? It's going to remedy, cure, heal. A lot of us need corrective surgery just to be able to see better. And a lot of us need corrective surgery in our goals to keep on track and hit the target. I respectfully request that you think about, when you have distractions in your way, that you've got to deal with the fear, overcome those obstacles, tunnel under them, hurdle over top of them, go around them, break down that barricade of things that are holding you back in your life, because it's all mental, and we're dealing with a lot of mental stress right now. Now, we're sliding in the home plate here as I'm coming to bringing my presentation to a close. The U in the acronym for focus, remember, F was for foresight, the O was for optical, C was for cataracts, and the U is for utopia. Now, as you see this beautiful picture on the slide presentation, you're looking at utopia means a perfect world or social order. And now let's face it, if we could look at this beauty every single day, like this picture right here in our minds, I know we all want it to go smooth, but setbacks and challenges and difficulties, it's not if it happens in our industry. It's just a point of when it happens again. Breakdowns in your marriage. I can remember looking at this rainfall right here. This is a thing of beauty, but A quick story. When I got married, it was June the 13th. And I went through a process of, it was very, very hot that day. And then after the ceremony, it was torrential rains after the ceremony. So the question to you is, can you stand the rain? When it starts raining, when it's overcast, when it's cloudy, when the picture is not perfect, the way this is on the slide presentation right now, you got to be, as an entrepreneur, as a business professional, you have got to be prepared to deal with the overcast days. You got to be prepared to deal with the setbacks. You got to be prepared to deal with it when things aren't going right. If things are going smooth for you in your profession, something is wrong. We are professional problem solvers. And this is how you can turn a horrible day into a beautiful day. You got to create a utopian mindset for yourself. This is a paradigm shift, ladies and gentlemen, going from here to here, whether or not that's negative to positive, whether or not that's limitations and deficiencies to strengths and strong characteristics, whether or not that's you're dealing with, I don't know, to I'm a really, really strong decision maker. It is all how you create it in your mind. And I'm telling you right now, I'm a person who has overcome insurmountable odds. I grew up in an underprivileged environment, eating fried bologna and cheese sandwiches every single day. And I can tell you right now, as I've had the honor and I've had the fortunate to be a successful entrepreneur for 35 years, half of that has been hotter than hell. But I can tell you this, the only way that you're going to overcome the obstacles and create the picture that you want, that you and your family deserve, you got to be willing to get off your ass and make it count every single day. These seconds and these moments that we have that are wrapped inside of these projects that we're doing that make up these hours, these are valuable seconds and hours. Choose your relationships wisely, choose your associations wisely, and never let a person's opinion about you define your level of self-esteem. Create the picture that you want because you ultimately have the choice. Now, last but not least is scope. Scope is simply the area that the mind can cover. Our brains are very, very powerful. I've been studying cognitive science, which is the study of the human mind, for the past 30 plus years. The first book I read was called Powers of the Subconscious Mind, about positive thinking. And in that book, they talked about I am statements. I am a successful, powerful, accomplished meeting planner. We will have a successful event. We are in the process. I am statements empower all of your goals. I would suggest you get a vision board. You put the things up on your vision board because the subconscious mind is going to automatically, it's going to attract the things that you have on that vision board. It does not happen by accident. Every person you meet, every action that you take, every hand that you shake is going to move you closer towards accomplishing what you want in life. So remember, in closing, our brains have the ability to process millions and millions of auditory and visual thoughts per second. Ladies and gentlemen, a computer, it wishes it could process information as fast as a human mind. Our brain makes up about 2% of our entire body weight. We're only using about 7 to 15% of our mental capacity, and we aren't even working our brains as hard as we possibly can. The more you force in new learning, I literally, listen to me, I force myself to learn something new every single day. I don't work for money. I work for education because education is going to dictate the level of service that I provide. Education is going to dictate the longevity of my career. Education is going to dictate the servant leader that I want to be. In this world, you got to be sharp up here. So make sure that you are a sharp, concise decision maker. Study like you've never studied before. And ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for the opportunity to present in front of you today. Remember the acronym for staying focused and magnifying success in your personal and professional vision. The F was for foresight. Remember, foresight is your ability to see into the future. The O was for optical. Optical is any type of device that aids you in sight. The U was for, the C was for cataracts. Cataracts is a gray or opaque area, which causes partial or total blindness. The U is for utopia. Utopia is a perfect world of social order. And scope. Scope is the area that the mind can cover. Remember, have the foresight to see into the future and look at the things ahead, but plan for today. Optical, make sure you see it and then do it. See it and then do it. The C for cataracts, You got to get out of your own way. You got to cure possibility blindness. And the U was for utopia. Remember, things may not be perfect picture every single day. And perfectionism is too stressful. Just make sure that you're effective, okay? And create the life in the picture up here that you want and you deserve. And scope is the area that the mind can cover. Your mind has infinite possibilities, ladies and gentlemen. I am Kevin T. Robertson, America's leading focus expert. And again, I am proud to be CEO of Speaker Focus. We create innovative products to help subject matter experts grow their speaking revenue. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present on the platform. And I want to thank you for the opportunity at Espousal. Okay, so now let me see if I had any questions. Okay, I don't believe I had any questions, but that is the end of my presentation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And if anyone needs to contact me for speaking engagements, you can always reach me at ktr@kevintrobertson.com. Again, ktr@kevintrobertson.com. Thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kevin T. Robertson, America's leading focus expert. Stay focused on your goals and dreams. Thank you so much.